kind of silence that doesn't come from the outside. It comes from deep within, where your voice has been locked away, where guilt wraps around your ribs like vines, tightening every time you try to breathe. Maybe you've made mistakes, not just small ones, but the kind that echo back at you in the middle of the night, the kind that change something in someone, or worse, in yourself. You replay moments, things you said, things you didn't say. You punish yourself over and over, as if suffering might somehow make you worthy again. But let me ask you this: how long must you breathe before you believe you've paid enough? Who told you that forgiveness must be earned only through pain? And what if the person you hurt the most was you? Sometimes we carry regret like it's our identity. Like we are no longer a person but a consequence. But you are not a punishment. You are not mistake frozen in time. You are a person in motion, still learning, still human. And humans mess up. That's not weakness. That's the cost of being alive. You've punished yourself long enough. You don't need to be forgiven by the whole world. But maybe tonight, you can begin by forgiving yourself just a little, just enough to sleep, just enough to breathe without guilt crushing your lungs, just enough to remember you are still here, and that means you still have a chance. Some people break out loud. They scream. They cry. They reach for help with trembling hands. But you broke quietly. So quietly, in fact, that no one noticed. You smiled through the tears. You laughed at your own pain. You showed up day after day with your heart in pieces hidden beneath polite words and practice notes. And because no one saw your wounds, they thought you were strong, resilient, fine. But just because a person is functioning doesn't mean they're okay. Just because you carried it all doesn't mean it wasn't heavy. There's battle that rages inside you, invisible, relentless, and it's not about success or failure. It's not even about the world around you. It's about the part of you that believes you are not allowed to fall apart, that you are not allowed to rest, that you are not allowed to say, I'm not okay. Let me tell you something that maybe no one's ever told you. You are allowed to be tired. You are allowed to fall. You are allowed to not be the strong one, especially when no one is watching, because the courage isn't in pretending. It's in admitting that you're struggling. It's in showing up to your own pain with gentleness instead of shame. And if all you did today was fight quietly, without applause, without recognition, without reward, that's still bravery, that's still strength, that's still you rising again, even when no one sees. There's a moment you keep replaying in your mind. Maybe it was a decision you regret. Maybe it was something you said in anger. Or maybe it was the moment that you didn't say anything at all. And now it lives with you, like a shadow you can't outrun, like a song that won't stop playing in the background, a wound that keeps reopening every time you're alone with your thoughts. And what makes it worse is not the memory itself, but how you judge yourself for it. How you whisper cruel things to yourself that you would never say it to anyone else. You call yourself a failure. You call yourself selfish. You call yourself broken. But please listen to me. You're not the worst thing that you've ever done. You are not the version of you from your lowest moment. You were doing the best you could with what you had and what you knew at that time. And yes, maybe now you know better. Maybe now you wish you could go back and do things differently. But you can't go back. You can only go forward. And you can't go forward while dragging the weight of unforgiveness behind you. So breathe. Let that version of you, the one who made that mistake, rest. Let them go. Because you are not here to be punished forever. You are here to grow, to learn, to become more than that moment. You are allowed to carry your past without letting it define you. You are allowed to remember without letting it ruin you. And one day, that memory won't string the same. It will still be part of your story, but not the chapter that defines your worth. You've carried so much for so long. You've been strong even when your heart was breaking. You smiled when no one knew you were falling apart inside. But strength doesn't mean never breaking. It means allowing yourself to breathe again, without guilt. Tonight, just rest. Not because everything is okay, but because you deserve a moment to fall apart. without fear. Let your shoulders drop. Let the world inside you pause. Let go. You don't have to fix everything today. You don't have to prove anything right now. You're enough just for being here. Even with the mess, even with the regret, even when you are still healing. So, rest is not weakness. It's how you begin again. There's no map for this. No clear sign pointing you out of the dark. But that doesn't mean you are lost forever. Sometimes the way back isn't a straight line. Sometimes it's a trembling step, a quiet whisper. I'm still here. Maybe you are not ready to run, but you can crawl, you can breathe, you can try, and that's how healing begins. Not in sudden leaps, but in small, honest moments, where you choose yourself again and again. Even if no one sees, even if you're failed 100 times, there's always a way forward. As long as you don't give up on yourself. Even if today it just means getting out of bed. Even if it only means drinking water. Even if it's just surviving one more night. That's not nothing. That's strength. And piece by piece, day by day, you rebuild. Not into who you were before, but into someone softer, wiser, more real. You don't rise despite your pain. You rise with it. So let the rising begin. I'll see you in the next episode. So have a good night tonight. Bye bye.